Um, why don't you go ahead and you're from Barcelona?
Yes,
Okay.
I am
So
in Barcelona nowadays. I am just working the La Salle University in Barcelona, and I was the CEO of 22 at the District of Innovation of the City Council, and also the CEO of the Office of Economic Growth.
excellent,
I
excellent,
am
very good.
mixing my activity in the university and also as a policymaker promoting ecosystems of innovation, not only in Barcelona, around the world, because I was the president of ISP, the International Association of Science and Technology Parks. Now I am leading the World District of Innovation Alliance, is an alliance of innovation districts around the world. But it's good to see and to share with you today something that was very interesting. You know, last week we had in Barcelona the Smart City Expo. It was a big meeting about how the technologies are transforming cities, not only in the physical place. The smart city is the way of transforming water, energy, mobility, waste, but also the way of transforming economies and society. And that's what I would like to talk today is really in these 15 minutes. I will try to summarize a research that we were doing with my colleague, Dr. Karina Repetti. She is also focusing her research in performance indicators, in ecosystems of innovation. And we were doing a work in order to understand when we talk about the smart cities, what dimensions we have, and also how can we take advantage of IT and artificial intelligence for transforming cities in smart cities. But let me share some slides, and with that, I will try to share these concepts, understanding that any question that you will have, I will be very happy to answer, but also if Michael or any other person in the audience, I will be very happy at the end of my presentation. And really, when I was invited to be with you today, I was thinking, how can we connect this concept of public services and AI and digital transformation? And the concept of the smart government is something very interesting because, we have, and this is my agenda today, it's really how the different authors were working and were writing about the smart cities. And if you go to the Neirotti and other researchers with him, they were trying to share that when we talk about a smart city, is something that is related with management of mobility, for sure, management of the, let me say, natural resources, water, energy, waste, but also about some buildings, why not, the smart buildings, some elements of quality of life. And here is a box with mixing culture, health, security, and so on, and entertainment. Also, some kind of activities of the government. Why not the government is managing in a good way the relation with the city, but government as an organization and also as a place of, at the end of the day, electronic democracy is how the government is related with the citizen in terms of transparency. But also, this author was including some kind of people and economy. It was about digital education, human resources, and some kind of innovation entrepreneurship. There is other author, well, in this case, Deloitte was starting to work in this framework that was helping to understand that the smart cities is about the smart environment, is waste, energy, water, but also urban environment, quality of air, but also all about mobility, the governance that we were talking before, smart economy. It means this is not only just the innovative companies, also how you transform tourism. We see how the value chain is changing, but also businesses and shops, and also include the concept of smart people. It means that they wanted to create a specific box of citizens' collaboration and digital inclusion, and for sure, all about smart living, health, security, and so on. Grimaldi and I was thinking that the strategies that we can develop in order to develop a smart city could be a top-down, to make a top-down decision. It happens in some Asian countries like Korea or China when they decide what the city will be. And it's a decision top-down, and they deliver mobility, health, and so on. But there is another approach that is more smart, bottom-up, in order to promote that the people can really organize themselves for education, culture, or also health. Barbara Sanchez was including also how the technology can really help with infrastructures, planning, and services, help the people. That's interesting. Is really, let's talk about how the technology can provide a better life for the people. And with all of that, we were working with Local Red. Local Red is a network of 900 cities and towns in Catalonia, in Spain. And we were analyzing a framework for all that cities, but also for any city of the world. If we go to the meta model that we were writing and was published in the EUM, it was a paper in a congress celebrated in Porto Alegre. We were sharing that we know that the smart city needs infrastructures. Infrastructure means connectivity, computing, and storage. That's good. We know that if we manage in a good way the municipality, we can manage the mobility, the environmental, all the facilities and buildings, and the urban public space, urban public services. Important because here we have all the urban activities. How can we manage better water, energy, mobility, waste, all the elements, but also how the city hall is organized as an institution that will provide, in this case, better service for the citizens, but also the digital governance, the digital administration, the digital services, and also the digital employee, because if we don't have the employee with digital skills, it's very difficult to transform the city hall. We were including the dimension of life with education, security, health, and culture, and the dimension of economy. Here, not only in terms of innovation and entrepreneurship, also jobs, occupation, and also entrepreneurship, and how the companies were including digital tools for advancing. And at the end, people. People means not only citizens, how they collaborate, also digital skills and digital inclusion. With that, there is a big challenge how we have the relation between city council and the city with the people, companies, and life and work. It means that the same person that could be a worker could be a citizen. All about data governance, who is managing and who is the owner of this data and how you can manage it. And also the knowledge management, EI, how you make decisions about the information that you have in a lot of data. You have a lot of data in your city. And there is a challenge in terms of cybersecurity. There is a challenge in terms of interoperability between systems, and there is a challenge in terms of regulation and digital rights and ethics. That's the framework that we create. And the important thing on that is that it is fulfilling all the dimensions of the city and also in harmony of the SDGs of the United Nations. We were really creating a roadmap for transforming from the hard factors to the services and also to the people, and also understanding that we had like 5 levels of maturity, like maturity model, just for understanding that perhaps you have a city with no any service, real service, some service that you can repeat, but at the end there is defined, that it's managed, and the more important thing for us is that you are learning and applying metrics and doing innovation with your city. With that, we understood that if we want to apply artificial intelligence in our city, we need to know that innovation is not just using technologies, that we're solving a challenge. And the challenge is something that could be a problem, that could be an opportunity. With that, we have ideas, pilots, and scaling. That's the reason why we believe that it's very important to understand the AI, artificial intelligence, as a tool, as an opportunity. We have in the city problems, but we have opportunities for using this data for making decisions for all the dimensions of the smart city. And with that, our methodology is understanding what challenge it's more important. AI for people that is living alone, all people. Imagine all people that is living alone, and you want to mentor, to not just control, it's just to care these people that is perhaps in a moment they will need some problem, they will need something, and we have to care them, or could be education, or could be health. You can apply AI for different challenges. The important thing is to prioritize what challenges with more impact, and with less time and less money we have more impact. We go for the ideation. We believe that it's important to promote ideas not only in terms of design thinking, also in terms of open challenge. That's the reason why LaSalle is now creating an accelerator of artificial intelligence just for smart cities, but also you can create a smart city lab or an ecosystem lab, a living lab that can be a place when you can check this product and service in a real city. After that, you can, with all the ideas, you can select what is the more interesting idea. With less time and less money, you have more impact. Here, the domain is the ideas, the solutions. Before we were selecting challenges. And with that, we were working in the concept of pilots. Pilots means evidence that this AI is solving something, and always prototyping. Prototyping means that we're prototyping the technology of feasibility, validation with real customers, and more than that, with the business model. Because the business model is what we can use when we have pilots for, as MIT is doing, for the scaling. It's not only developing the pilots, it's scaling, and scaling means to be sure that our solutions is not just for Barcelona, it's for the world. That's the moment that AI is impacting not only my local dimension, is a global dimension, but the city could be the first mile of global innovation. That's the moment that we manage the deal flow of innovation, understanding we start with challenges, ideation, develop, and scaling. That's what we do now at LaSalle, working in this dimension of for exploring ideation, pilots, and scaling. Just for concluding, because I would like to use my 15 minutes in a very appropriate way. The important thing, as always, is from AI to value. AI is a wonderful tool, but it's for what? For serving what? For solving what challenge, and for improving what service. That's important. The important thing of stimulating open innovation, for asking entrepreneurs, students, whoever, for solving this solution. And the idea of connecting the demand side of the quadruple helix means that not only university or industries, how can you connect with the challenges, filters, ideation, prototyping, business model, and growing global. That's the idea, is starting local in order to scale global. And with all of that, managing this deal flow of innovation ecosystem. That's all from my side. If you want to download this study, you can download in this link. And the important thing is that this framework helps us for understanding how, in this case, the smart cities can be transformed from the technology, and also for sure for the with the artificial intelligence. That's time for any question or any reaction.
I was wondering, Josep, I can see implementing this, how much savings there would be in dollars and time and efficiency, et cetera. Is there much of a upfront investment that has to be made before you can implement this? Is it the hardware or software packages or things?
Yeah, very interesting question, because nowadays the challenge is that in order to apply artificial intelligence, you need some key infrastructures. You can use the AI that you are public, like ChatGPT or any of the from Google or from Meta, but this is artificial intelligence that you are training, not yourself. You are training others' artificial intelligence. If you want to create your own artificial intelligence, you need a lot of computing, and this is a big challenge. That's the reason why we're creating this incubator of AI that will provide to you the tools for developing your own machine. Because the problem here is that when you are using public AI, you are training others than you. Imagine that you put some key information, some data is something that you cannot avoid, that they will not use this data, but you are training, it means that you are training AI that is not only your AI. But my suggestion always is to have these platforms provided by universities or technology parks as a tool for the students. For instance, we have a master of artificial intelligence or a bachelor in artificial intelligence, and the students are creating business on this infrastructure. Because if not, for instance, there is a problem of computing. We have a very interesting startup that is applying artificial intelligence in health. In health for what? For understanding when somebody has an urgency, imagine that you have to go to the urgency, it's a good name. When you go to this artificial intelligence is asking you what is happening with you, is asking, and with the just writing, this artificial intelligence is telling you what is happening with you before to go to the hospital. This is incredible, but you need a lot of computing and a lot of knowledge, a lot of database, and this is something that this is your competitive advantage, must be in your artificial intelligence, in your own data, in your own computer.
How about when you try to sell this to governments? In the US, at least, I know government is extremely inefficient. So
Yeah.
bringing in something like this, I could see a lot of value, but would there be some resistance from the people that work in government?
Very good question, because as always, not just government, any institution that is doing whatever, they are not happy to change. And what we discovered, and I discovered in a specific way in Barcelona, when I was leading 22A, the District of Innovation, I discovered that before of the public procurement is a learning. Before buying is a process of learning. And you have to create pilots, spaces where you can show to, in this case, we were using the city as a lab, and we were inviting the public servant to evaluate this technology in order to show what savings, what was the impact of this. It was very important because for the entrepreneur was the opportunity to have the first customer in terms of not paying, but the user. For the government was the opportunity to learn how this technology could be applied for whatever they need, but also for investors was a clear opportunity to validate that this is something that is providing value, but also for citizens, because they could see the citizens an innovation that could be applied for them. My suggestion always is to create living labs or sandbox for developing pilots. Pilots is where the technology is inside a product or service in connection with a customer. That's the key. If you find this, that's perfect. Because if you want to buy a kilo of artificial intelligence for I don't know who, 1 kilo or 2 kilos, it's you don't know what is. You need what is the value, what is the value proposition that you are providing to a real customer. That's the reason why it's about pilots. Not only with feasibility, technological feasibility, also for validating with real customers.
Excellent. Very well presented. And again, I learned a lot here today. Whenever I listen to these, there's a lot of areas I don't know much about, to be quite candid, but it's great to see what's happening and what companies in the real world are doing and what they're implementing. So I think it's marvelous. Keep up the good work.
Wonderful, Michael. Thank you very much for this invitation and also for sharing this big debate in this wonderful world that is an opportunity to share what we're doing. Thank you very much, and let's go to the next presentation.
And I thank you for a wonderful presentation.
Good.
Okay, is Hoda here? Nadi, is Hoda here? Is Hanadi here?
Should be joining shortly.
Okay. So she's on her way, or?
Very well, Michael, where are you in this moment? You're based in?
I'm based in US.
Yeah.
So I live near Atlantic City, New Jersey, which is just a couple
Okay.
hours south of New
Okay,
York
very
City.
good.
It's along the coast.
Okay.
I'm a shore person, so I live along the coast and spend in the summers as much time on the beaches as time
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, I actually live on a barrier island.
Okay.
The city is on a barrier island. I live down beach from Atlantic City. Stockton University is inland, about 12 or 13 miles. Although we just built a new campus right in Atlantic City, the dormitory is actually right on the boardwalk. So the students have a great view. My office was in our main campus. They asked me to move. I was a little reluctant, but I got a corner office with windows and an ocean view. So once they gave me that, I decided it was okay.
This is something that we know in Barcelona, because we have in 2020 we have a research park, biomedical research park, that the value proposition is not just only to have a wonderful research labs for biotechnology with genomics and so on. Also, is a window in front of the sea, and this is something in terms of quality of life. That's one of the things that we were working a lot in Barcelona, the idea of the concept of knowledge city on a smart city, a place for working and living, and how you commute during the day as a person. You are in the morning, you're a person for sure, because you are at home, you commute and you will be a professional during the day. Perhaps during lunchtime, you are going to have a lunch as a citizen. And after that, you go to the university, and that's the idea of the city as the platform of the knowledge-based economy, of the city as a platform of talent for working and living. And I recognize that quality of life is something that is very important for attracting talent and also for retaining talent. And in the case of Barcelona, we have now a very interesting situation, because we have a lot of international talent coming to Barcelona, not only students from Erasmus and so on. Also, we have 190 innovation hubs of the world, like PepsiCo, Sanofi Aventis, Nestlé, that they are choosing Barcelona for hubs of artificial intelligence. It's very, very interesting. And really, our value proposition is not just infrastructure, for sure, connectivity and so on. It's talent, but also quality of life for these workers. It's impacting in a situation that, let me tell you, that is something that when you are developing an economy, if you have to care two things: the gentrification. It's really not to expose the people from the city. That's the reason why we were working a lot in the schools with digital academies and so on, for connecting new generations with these job opportunities. But also housing is something that we are now, I don't know in the USA, but here housing is a key problem, because we have we were growing in terms of the society. We were receiving in the last 10 years 1.5 million, but we are expecting 1.5 million more people and this is people for living. That's wonderful. We love to host people, but we need houses. And housing is something that Barcelona is nowadays a wonderful place, but now we have some tensions in how tourism, in one hand, knowledge-based economy means international people coming for working, but this is also part of this holistic approach. When I say knowledge-based economy, I always say the urban level, the economical level, and the social level, and you have to combine very well and balancing very well.
Yeah, great balance. Excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of your comments.
Okay, good. I hope that you will enjoy the next presentation. I don't know if it's coming, but in any case, Dr. Hanadi.
Hanadi?
yes. Thank you so much, Professor Joseph, for your
Okay.
presentation. I'm be with you, but I'm answering also the government. There are several things for tomorrow morning, and everybody is asked me. Thank you so
Okay.
much for your presentation.
Thank you very much. We're in touch.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
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 I see,
Professor Mike Huda is there,
I see
and she
Huda's
will have
there.
30 minutes.
Okay, Huda, she has two 15-minute segments. Is that right, Hanani?
Yes.
Okay, Huda, you may
Hi,
fire when ready.
thank you so much. I'm ready. I'm just like having a problem with my camera. It's on, but I see it's black. For some reason,
Okay.
it's dark, even though it's
Uh,
on. So what we will do is maybe I can
The technical support, can you solve the problem?
yeah. I don't
Maybe
think we need the camera. Particularly, I can share my video or
Okay.
my
share screen.
Dr. Hoda, this is Monica Amadio. Hello, Professor Bessler.
Hello,
I had a
Monica.
similar issue on my laptop, and it turns out there is a very small black switch at the top of the screen. And if you slide it, depending on what type of laptop you have, there may be a little button. Mine did exactly the same thing, and I figured out how to turn it off. So if that helps you,
Okay.
maybe.
Let me try something in the
Mhm.
top of screen, black.
I see something blinking on the top of my screen.
Basically, it will be above your camera, a physical slider, something which it closes the camera lens or allows you to, open it.
No, I don't have that on my laptop. I know what you're talking about. That's something you place on your laptop by yourself. My
Okay,
laptop.
are you able to share your presentation?
Yes, that's perfect. And you know what I would do? If you don't mind, I will access also the presentation from my mobile camera. Maybe that would help you. But just give me a minute.
All right.
I need just a minute on this. I tremendously enjoyed the previous presentation, such a great narration of how we should build a real city, I would say, not just the smart cities in the world, where we preserve humanity as we are preserving progress.
Recording in progress. Recording in progress.
So just give me a chance to. Okay, let me figure this out. Let me figure out. Maybe you can also accept me as a panelist, because on the other device I do not have the camera activated.
I think
Maybe Hanadi can
Hanadi-
accept me as a panelist on my other camera. And then I will share my slides on this.
I don't know if Hanadi's here. Oh, wait, here goes. Here's something. There you go.
That's my slides. But
There
if
you go. It's a
Hanadi would
miracle.
accept me
A
as a
miracle.
panelist, then I would be able also to open my phone camera so you can see me while I'm presenting, but it's fine. We can go ahead, because for the benefit of time, I think we should just move on.
Perfect.
Good morning and good evening and good afternoon, everyone, wherever you're connected. My name is Huda Al-Khuzaimi. I am the Associate Vice Provost for Research Translation and Innovation at New York University, Abu Dhabi. I'm as well the director of the Center for Emerging Technologies, which is a prototyping center, prototyping emerging technologies at large on multiple scale. I'm not sure if you can see me. It seems you can, because I can see myself, but I'm looking down, unfortunately, to my laptop, but it's fine. So I'll be discussing the transformative potential of AI on public services, and I'll focus primarily on how it would empower governments to improve efficiencies and enhance citizen experiences, to foster better transparencies and building that kind of strategic and operational efficiencies at the same time. We know very well that AI is rapidly evolving globally to have that kind of worldwide enabler of global spending on AI that goes beyond 13 billion USD by 2026. I think the projection is. And it would grow at an annual rate of 24%, which is not, a normal rate of growth when it comes to government spending on specific type of technology. This level of investment shows the commitments of nation, and I'll explore in a while why those commitments exist on the map, to build a potential AI kind of public sector platform that would enhance administrative services across the map. Okay, we have this figure as well from the UK where we have AI. It tells you there in the screen, right? Integration of AI in public services tells you at the forefront of AI, the United Kingdom is standing to, service its citizens. We also have one of the most immediate benefits of AI in public services is cost efficiency. So the studies suggest that by implementing AI in governments, you can reduce the operational cost by up to 30%, especially by automating repetitive tasks and optimizing resources allocation. And this reduces cost across the government to redirect resources toward maybe higher impact projects and areas, ultimately benefiting the citizens, right? We have seen this in the past. I've changed the slide, yes. We have seen in the past that this can significantly enhance the quality of public services. For example, digital government services. We have in Abu Dhabi and Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, over 2,500 services has been digitalized in order to initiate some kind of an impact on zeroing the bureaucracy across the departments, which improve the quality of life for over 60% of citizens, as reported by our recent government kind of summits data. AI-powered chatbots, for example, which reduce response time by 90%, has been an ultimate go-to tool within government services to provide for help within call centers and help the citizens get real-time assistance to create smoother and more efficient, I would say, experiences across the map. We have seen as well the utilization of predictive analytics for proactive governance, where you can tell that in order to mitigate issues and find an automated systematic escalation, especially in public health, predictive analysis has been used to reduce emergency rooms visit by 15%, for example, in certain pilot projects. This kind of foresight allows government to allocate government resources and efficiencies to respond more to crises more effectively. And those new platforms that are on the rise, they're considered to be, I would say, on what we call GovTech. GovTech is a rising field of technological services.